Welcome back to City Education, your home for education in all forms, shapes, and sizes. Now, in our first video on environmental law, we discovered the foundations for environmental protection in South Africa, basically the history as well as your sources of environmental law. Today, we go deeper. We'll explore Section 24 of the Constitution and how it connects to traditional socio-economic rights like housing, healthcare, and the quality of life. Now, why does this matter? Well, because a safe environment isn't just about protecting nature, it's about protecting us. The air we breathe, the water we drink, and the land we live on directly affect our health, our well-being, and our children's futures. So join us as we unpack how the Constitution gives each of us the right to live in a healthy environment, and what this means for our everyday lives, our government, and our future generations. Now, at the heart of environmental law in South Africa is Section 24 of the Constitution. It guarantees two powerful rights for everyone. First, the right to an environment that is not harmful to your health or well-being. This means the places where we live, work, and play must be safe. Polluted air, unsafe water, or toxic waste that puts our health at risk, these go against a fundamental promise. Secondly, the right to have our environment protected for the benefit of present and future generations. This requires the government to take action through laws that prevent pollution and ecology damage, promote conservation, and use natural resources wisely and sustainably, ensuring development benefits for both people and the planet. Think of this as a social contract between today's generation and the next. We enjoy the environment now, but we must protect it so that our children and grandchildren can enjoy it as well. Now, environmental rights aren't separate from our everyday needs. They are deeply connected to socio-economic rights like housing, healthcare, and dignity. I mean, think about it. What good is housing if the air is toxic or the water is unsafe to drink? Or how can healthcare thrive if pollution continues to cause illness? And what is economic growth worth if it destroys the resources we rely on? Basically, a safe and healthy environment forms the foundation for other socio-economic rights. Without it, access to adequate housing, healthcare, and even education becomes much harder to achieve. By recognizing this connection, the Constitution makes sure that protecting the environment isn't luxury, but it's a basic human need, vital to our survival and well-being. Section 7 of the Constitution places a duty on the state to respect, protect, promote, and fulfill your right to a safe environment. This means government must make laws that prevent pollution and ecological damage, then enforce those laws fairly, and take real action to conserve our natural resources. But it doesn't stop there. Section 8 extends this duty to everyone, not just the state. This is called horizontal application, meaning private companies, communities, and individuals all share this responsibility. For example, a factory must manage its waste responsibly. Businesses cannot exploit natural resources, and each of us have a duty not to harm the environment, whether by dumping waste, polluting water, or destroying the ecosystems. In short, environmental protection is a shared responsibility, one that calls for cooperation between the government and every citizen. As we can see, environmental rights are human-centered. They exist to protect our health, our well-being, and our future. Like other socio-economic rights, they place two types of duties on the state, which is firstly a negative obligation that emphasizes that the state must not take action that harm or limit our environmental rights. For example, It cannot approve developments that pollute rivers or put communities at risk. The second obligation is the positive obligation, which emphasizes that a state must actively take responsible measures, such as creating laws, enforcing regulations, and promoting conservation to make these rights a reality for everyone. Now, this all simply means that your rights to a safe environment aren't just about nature. They are about securing the conditions that allow people, families, and communities to survive and thrive. Protecting the environment is at its core protecting ourselves. South Africa's National Environmental Management Act, or NEMA, gives us principles of sustainable development. The idea that social, economic, and environmental concerns must work together in every decision we make. In simple terms, it means meeting the needs of today without destroying the ability of future generations to meet theirs. Secondly, may mean carefully balancing progress, like building homes, schools, and businesses, with protecting the land, water, and the air that we depend on. Think of it as a long-term investment. If we take care of our resources now, they'll continue to support us and future generations. But if we overuse or pollute them, we risk losing the foundation of our survival. Now, sustainable development rests on 3 pillars, each just as important as the other. The first pillar is social sustainability. This is about fairness, participation, and improving the quality of life, especially for the most vulnerable. Imagine a community where everyone has access to clean water, safe housing, and opportunities to grow. Social sustainability values social networks, education, and technology that meets our needs without damaging the environment. The second pillar is the ecological sustainability. This focuses on protecting biodiversity and keeping nature systems healthy. It means using resources at a rate nature can replace, minimizing waste and pollution, and respecting the limits of the earth. Like our oceans and atmosphere, for example, fishing only what the ocean can replenish, or reducing carbon emissions to keep our air breathable. Now, the third pillar is economic sustainability. This is about growth that is fair, long-lasting, and doesn't overload social or ecological systems. It asks hard questions about how wealth is shared. True economic growth supports jobs and innovation without destroying the very resources we depend on. Now, when these 3 pillars work together, we create a future where people and the planet can thrive side by side. Your right to a safe and healthy environment isn't just written in the Constitution. It's a living, breathing part of your everyday life. When you understand this right, you can demand accountability when industries pollute your water or air, support conservation efforts to protect our wildlife and natural resources. You could even take action in your community, from recycling and reducing waste to supporting clean energy initiatives. Now, every step you take, big or small, helps protect not just the environment, but also your own health, your family's well-being, and the future we all share. Now, remember, protection isn't only the government's job. It's something we all contribute to. Environmental rights are human rights. They safeguard our health, our communities, and generations to come. By understanding Section 24 and the principles of sustainable development, we all become part of the solution. Remember, protecting the environment means protecting ourselves. Let's keep building a future where people and the planet thrive together. If you found this lesson helpful, like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to City Education. Together, let's keep learning, growing, and making a lasting difference.